Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, wrote 3 masterpieces: Mishle, what we call Proverbs, Shir HaShirim, Songs of Songs, and then Kohelet, Ecclesiastes. These 3 books represent divine and uniquely given wisdom. When Solomon was a young man enjoying the surge of God-given wisdom, he composed Shir HaShirim, Songs of Songs. When Solomon was older, he composed Mishle, that is Proverbs. When he was advanced in years, he poured his discouragement with the material world into his book Kohelet, Ecclesiastes. In the book of Ecclesiastes, Solomon uses a different name to introduce himself. He writes, "The words of Kohelet, son of David, king of Jerusalem." Solomon was given the descriptive name Kohelet, which means to congregate. This was because of 2 things. He congregated in himself all that was to be known. And 2, he also congregated multitudes to hear his teachings. This is how he came by the name Kohelet. He was not content to be wise. He wanted others to realize their own potential, and amongst other things. So he used his vast understanding and his unmatched ability to compose proverbs that would make the depths of the Torah comprehensible to his people. He communicated his wisdom in such a way that it had many layers of meaning, all of them true and comprehensible to everyone according to his own capacity to absorb it. It was a gift almost unique to Solomon. The Eves, the Hebrews in West Africa, have kept this custom of using parables, metaphors, and proverbs in their day-to-day communications. Teaching using parables and metaphors are primary educational tools that are used to present a message in such a way that both scholar and layman can absorb it, each according to his or her respective understanding. It makes difficult subject matters comprehensible to the listener or the student. Through this medium, Solomon would teach us how to instill the teachings of wisdom, discipline, and ethical values. Torah words are hidden in darkness to those who do not understand them, and that which is hidden may be compared to luminous jewels hidden in darkness. Solomon used proverbs and parables as flashes of light to penetrate the darkness so we can acquire these luminous jewels hidden in the Torah. This is what Mishle, or Proverbs, is all about. Simple stories of limited value, properly used, however, the means by which one may achieve understanding. Now let's tackle just verses 1 of the book of Proverbs so we get a glance of the layers of meaning I just mentioned. Proverbs 1. Mishle Shlomo ben David, Melech Israel. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. If I were to write this, I would have written the Proverbs of Basil, king of Israel, son of David. I would change the arrangement. I would make sure that my audience know that I am the king. Solomon could have written it that way if his intentions was to inform us he was the king of Israel. But that was not his intentions. Rather, he was teaching us a very important principle by choosing to mention he was king of Israel after he had mentioned his father's name. What is the lesson here? Any book you open up and choose to read, any person you decide to listen to, you should always know who the author or the person is. Knowing the author or the person tells you how to relate to the book or to them. Solomon tells us, I am Solomon, and this is my book, Mishle, Proverbs. He goes ahead and mentions the name of his teacher. He says, I am Ben David, the son of David. There is a saying that the son goes after the father, or the student goes after the teacher. David was a Bible scholar, and Solomon is telling us that he is the son of David. He is the student of David. Even though God gave Solomon more wisdom than his teacher David, he tells us the source of his learnings and his ethics. Who taught the person you're learning from? After this, Solomon tells us he is the king of Israel. He introduces us to his audience. The king is one who can relate to the entire nation. His audience, in this case, is the entire nation. So one of the many lessons Proverbs chapter 1 verses 1 teaches us is that, number one, we should know the author. We should know the teacher. We should know who we are listening to. Number two, we should find out his or her expertise. Know the person's expertise. And number three, find out who taught this person. Number four, who is the intended audience? Solomon hides this lesson in one statement. Mishle Shlomo ben David, Melech Israel. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel.